Yeah, man. You know, I take a lot of time and I get a lot of questions when people ask me. They want me to talk about one specific thing. And it's something I never did on the radio show before, and it's something that is really exclusive from me to you right now as I talk to you. Excuses. People in this world make a lot of excuses, man. A lot of people in this world don't want it like they say they want it. What is it that you feel like you have to do? What is the risk that you're willing to take? Nobody ever gave me nothing, man. Nobody ever gave me anything. And I never asked for nothing from anybody. People always ask me, yo, how'd you get this far? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? Well, first research it. Research it. Really sit back. Get on the internet, use your resources, and find out what is it that you love doing. Find out as much information about it as you can. Sit back sometimes and just think. Russell Simmons once said, your most powerful moments come when you're sitting down in just quiet space. When you're just sitting down to yourself. There's nobody around, there's no family, there's no children, there's no music, there's no car. It's just you sitting down thinking. Whatever it takes for you to get that 15, 20 minutes to just sit down and think end up being your best ideas. That ends up being your best research. And it essentially ends up being some of the most powerful decisions you can ever make. For the simple fact that you're willing to do anything to sit down and give yourself idle time. Idle time is power when you think. Sit down and focus on it. You know, there's no excuses. Nobody ever gave me anything, and I never asked for it for the simple fact that you would never appreciate it if it's handed to you. Look at what we're doing right now. This is a one-on-one conversation with me and whoever's watching this. I'm telling you right now, man, I don't want nobody to give me anything. I want to be able to work for it. Everything I've gotten over this past year, I've worked for it. You know, just a year ago, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing to my name. I had no vehicle. This is just going to a year ago. This is not, you know, no far distance away. This is a year ago. I had no vehicle. I was barely starting my college education. Didn't have a lot of money. Didn't have a lot of foundation with myself. Really didn't know what my future plans were. Really didn't know where I was going. But eventually I sat back and I used that idle time and I did a lot of research. I did a lot of research on what I wanted to do, and I said, all right, Antoine, what do you have to do to get your life together, bro? You know, your son's 2 years old, man. You have nothing to your name, fam. What is it that you're gonna do to really make that next step? So I sat back, and this is a true story. I sat back and I said a prayer with God one day. I was damn near in tears, and I'm talking to God, and I said, listen, man, look, I know my relationship with you might not be the greatest right now. Might not be the greatest. But I guarantee you, if you give me the direction, I'm not asking you to do anything for me, but I'm just asking you to put me in the right direction. I'm asking you to help me overcome this adversity, because it is possible. So Lord, give me that blessing, give me that sense of direction to say, okay, Antoine, this is where you need to go. I'm not gonna do it for you. I'm not gonna do it for you. But if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to meet me halfway, I'm willing to give you anything you want. So I sat back and I did a lot of research. I did a lot of relevant searches. I did a lot of homework on successful people. Curtis Jackson, better known as 50 Cent. Samuel L. Jackson, who was once homeless and has become one of the best movie stars of all time. Bill Gates. Everybody know who Bill Gates is. I don't need to say no further. Oprah. You name it. Anybody who has done anything to become successful. I sat back and I did my research, and I recognized how relevant they remain towards their goals and their careers. So as I move on and tell you about this year process, you fast forward this time, And to me, making this speech today, you've really seen how far somebody can come from nothing. From nothing. In a year's time, I want to have my own website, my own radio show, my own exclusive YouTube channel where I speak to celebrities every couple months. Worldwide celebrities that people know. Sports, political views, whatever. I offer that now. And that comes from that conversation. I was actually able to sit down with God and say, okay, God, what is it that I need to do? Once again, I'm going to restate it. I'm not asking you to do anything for me, but I'm asking you to lead me in the right direction. God answered my prayers. One last thing I want to tell you regarding this subject is to never stop dreaming. You know, Lyle Cohen, who is a former record label executive, once said, the problem with people is that when they achieve their dreams, they stop dreaming. They stop. For example, let me use something that might be relevant to you. If you become a successful rapper, you have one great album. It's what you always wanted. You sell a platinum album, you have a platinum single, you're out there. And then eventually, you sit back and say, what's next? That's when you have a problem. You have to have a list of dreams, because you have to have a A list, a B list, a C list. Write down everything you want to do, from the car that you want to what you want to do when you're 60 years old.